Hello and namaskar viewers, I am Sanjeev Pandya welcoming you to this week's edition of the Business Talk with AJ right here on ITV Gold. This weekly show brings you all the latest that you need to know from the world of business. The show is proudly brought to you by Sai CPS Services, a professional accounting firm located in state of New Jersey, can help you with taxes and also non-taxes matters such as if you want to start a business or if you're in IRS tax audit, need advice and guidance on your investment plans before the end of the year. Sai CPS Services, on their staff, experienced and knowledgeable CPAs are there to help you out at any time of the day. Give them a call at 908-380-6876 or visit their website saicpsservices.com. With that note, I'd like to welcome Mr. AJ Kumar of Sai CPA Services. AJ is a CPA and MBA with over 25 years of experience and has been leading Sai CPA Services into the world of accounting and taxes. AJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sanjeevji. Thank you for the kind introduction.
Very welcome. And of course, we are in now Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
Absolutely, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and hope your Thanksgiving holiday weekend is going very well. And we just wish that you and your family enjoy this holiday with warmth, love, joy, happiness, and cheer over delicious food, whatever that you may decide to have it during a Thanksgiving holiday. And it's not only Thursday. Some people celebrate it on Friday.
Absolutely.
Some people celebrate on Saturday, depending upon everyone's convenience.
Absolutely, depending on the availability of the whole family. It's all about spending time with the family, being thankful of what we have.
Correct.
Everybody has a lot of reasons to be whining, complaining, and in general not be happy. But if you take a step back, a lot of people will give their left hand, their right hand to be in your shoes, to have what you have. So you take a step back, reflect upon what you have, spend some time with the family, and happy Thanksgiving.
Very well said. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Now let's begin the business news, and we like to begin with the Federal Government, and this has to do with the possible rate cuts. Will there be a rate increase or rate cut when Fed meet next month?
Well, Mr. Powell, Jeremy Powell,
yes.
This is the second consecutive month when the rates were not increased. If you remember, prior to these 2 months, rates were increased 11 times, 4 times in 2023. We have highest rate in last 23 years currently. Now, Mr. Powell is saying, we are considering not to increase the rate, but don't assume that we'll be decreasing the rate soon enough. So the rates are not going to come down in next month or two. Are we going to have a rate increase? Probably not. So based on all the indications that we have, job market is strong, inflation is not as high or it's not increasing anymore. So all the indications are that there wouldn't be any rate increase.
Well, you know what? I really don't believe them, but that's okay. I respect what he has said, and let's hope that he sticks with it, because rate increase would not be really good at this time.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Chairman Powell's announcement about not increasing rate, stock market reacted very positively.
Of course.
Right after that day, Dow Jones added about 212 points. So that is an indication that public don't want to see any rate increase.
Especially during this time in the winters when we have the holiday season,
yes.
There is not a lot going on the business side. People are in the happy mood. People want to enjoy this time. Another rate increase will be a quite damper. It will affect everything. The gas price will increase, the food price will increase, and it won't create the positive feeling that the government wants to create. Correct. During this time.
All right. So we'll continue to update you when it comes to a rate increase or decrease or not increase matter. Let's see what happens. All right. Now it's time to talk about the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, which is Binance. The U.S. Commodity Future Trading Commission, known as CFTC, has reached a settlement with Binance and its CEO that there is a money laundering charges against
Absolutely.
the CEO.
It's a big deal. Binance is the largest cryptocurrency exchange that we know of, and we have seen earlier as well how the cryptocurrency failed. A lot of people have lost a lot of money. So it's one of those things during the holiday time, an early holiday time, giving you an indication. If you don't understand it, stay away from it. This is not the thing that you understand. Cryptocurrency, people have made some money in the
Yes.
beginning, and then they have lost a lot of money. People were putting their hard-earned money into this cryptocurrency exchange, and now we know Sam Friedman. We have every day there is a new news popping up that there was a currency fraud, there was an exchange fraud, there was a lot of frauds going on when it comes to the cryptocurrency.
Just because there were so many things going on, that's why the CFTC had sued Binance earlier this year, and now they have reached an agreement, and as part of the agreement, the CEO Changpeng Zhao will step down, and Changpeng Zhao and Binance will pay $2.85 billion in
Not
fines.
million.
Billion.
We are talking about billion.
Exactly.
$2.8 billion as a fine that the company has
Think
to pay.
about the money they made.
So it's absurd.
Yes.
Our recommendation is, if you do not understand it, stay away from it.
That's a good advice. All right, now let's talk about this interesting story which developed in just a couple of days. This is a company called OpenAI. OpenAI, they have made their remarkable name in artificial intelligence world, right? And they've been doing a phenomenal job. Company called Microsoft, they have invested billions of dollars in this company OpenAI. Now OpenAI's one of the founders named Sam Altman, a genius, a brilliant mind behind AI. Apparently, board of directors and Sam Altman had some kind of disagreement, and the board of directors fired him. When they fired him, very next day, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella hired him because Satya Nadella believed in Sam Altman's abilities and some of his team members. So Satya Nadella says that we're going to hire you, and Microsoft will give you all the resources that you need to develop on this AI concept. That happened, and the day later, AJ, believe it or not, OpenAI had new board of directors, and they hired Sam Altman back. And Sam Altman agreed to go back because he is one of the founders of OpenAI. And guess what? Satya Nadella of Microsoft applauded that move.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely. I mean, if you take a step back and look at the business angle
Yes.
behind it, OpenAI has invested a lot of money.
correct.
But they're not making a lot of money yet.
Yes.
So the board is not happy, or the earlier board wasn't happy. But on the other side, Microsoft has invested a lot of money. Microsoft believes that OpenAI is tomorrow's thing. So when Sam Altman was fired, Microsoft took it as an opportunity to bring him in. But by putting him back in the same company that he started, now Microsoft has a good understanding, good synergy between the two companies. So there is a good business side to it, good business angle to it.
In this scenario, going back and forth and everything, guess who really benefited out of it?
Well, Sam Altman and Microsoft.
Microsoft stockholders.
Absolutely.
They benefited a lot because Microsoft's stock price went immediately up when they hired Sam Altman.
It was a big move, and
Yes.
it was a very, very opportunistic move.
Correct.
For Microsoft.
Yeah.
But bigger than that, they could have told him not to go.
Yes.
But putting him back in the same company, now they have a future synergistic relationship that they can leverage upon.
The bottom line of the story is, AJ, you know what? Your work speaks for yourself.
Of course.
And once you're genius, once you are intelligent, and once you know what you can do that many others cannot do, you will have that demand. And going back and forth is completely okay, especially you going back to the company that you co-founded. That reminds me story of Steve Jobs. When Apple fired him, back then when they introduced the computer, Apple fired him. Years later, he went back to Apple. He didn't go anywhere else. He went back to Apple and came back with the newer line of products, and now we know where Apple stands.
Absolutely.
All right, so this thing do happen. Now let's see what happens or not. But according to Walmart CEO, the statement that he has made, AJ is very happy about that. And the viewers, I'm happy to share with you that Walmart CEO says food deflation may come soon. That means food prices may come down.
Absolutely, we look forward to it. If you remember, in last 2 years alone, since these interest rate increase started, the food prices have increased by over 25%. We all know gas prices have increased substantially. We all know a lot of prices went back and forth. Freight prices were 10 times higher at one point of time. But food is the basic necessity. When the food prices increases, it affects everybody. It affects the minimum wages. Just in last episode, Sanjeev ji, if you remember, we were talking about minimum wages being increased to $20 in some states. that creates the problem. That creates a huge challenge for the economy. Paying $20 of minimum wage is not going to be possible for many small companies. But how do these people survive when the food prices keeps increasing? So I'm very happy to hear that somebody, Walmart CEO, believes that the food prices will start coming down.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, while we are on the food prices matter, why not talk about inflation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So inflation is not decreasing yet.
Yes.
Inflation is sort of stagnant, but it's still too high. Nobody wants this inflation to be high. Inflation needs to be around 2%, so it's much higher than where it needs to be. And that's why the federal government had to increase the rate 11 times over the last 2 years. But now, since the inflation is not increasing anymore, the federal government has stopped increasing the rates and hoping if the inflation starts to come down, federal government will start slowly bringing the rates down. It wouldn't happen one time, it wouldn't happen immediately, but over the next 12 to 18 months, we expect the interest rate to be down at a reasonable rate.
Okay, and that would be very, very good. Now, this key inflation gauge fell last month by the most since 2020. That means since last 3 years, we've been experiencing this, high inflation. But there is a little bit of sign, and obviously, if you really were following up our top story of the day, which had to do with the interest rate, Fed's interest rate, which is tied to with inflation also.
Absolutely.
So if inflation continues to go down, then I guess rate increase will not take place. As a matter of fact, there will be a rate decrease. So let's see what happens in that matter.
Absolutely, soon enough, hopefully.
Yeah, soon, absolutely. All right, with that note, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we got more interesting business stories for you in this show, The Business Talk with AJ. Stay with us. Welcome back to the second half of the Business Talk with AJ on ITV Gold. Once again, the show brought to you by Science CPA Services. Obviously, you don't want to hear about taxes right now, but you know what? This is a good time for you to sit down and take a look at all your earnings for the year so far, what you're going to be making. If you are one of those individuals who receive a bonus at the end of the year, you should also look into it that where do you want to park your money? When I say park your money, where do you want to invest your money so that way you pay less taxes that you all have to pay. But there are ways that you can invest money in certain plans, and that way you can reduce your tax liabilities. And for that, you should contact Science CPA Services because they believe in doing taxes right, paying taxes, whatever needs to be paid, but they can advise you and guide you where to invest money. 908-380-6876 is their phone number. ScienceCPAServices.com is their website. And remember, it is one of the most well-known accounting firms in the state of New Jersey with multiple locations. But wherever you may be in the state, in the country of United States, they can definitely help you out. Now, here we are in a Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Either you or someone you know must have gone out for Black Friday shopping, because Black Friday shopping is the concept attracts many people to go out to shop, and the retailers, they want your business, so they lay out all these interesting deals that really, years ago people used to go to malls and then they used to line up outside the stores to buy certain items. But now in a digital era, you can buy it online and you can order it online and still take advantage. But Black Friday is the day where retailers really want to have their numbers in the black side, not on the red side.
I agree with you. I agree 100%. Like everything else, Black Friday sales have changed as well after COVID. I remember the days few years ago when people will hear the stories, people will line up before 6 a.m. People will not sleep. They will have coffee. They will have donuts.
I myself had done it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Many decades ago, though.
Absolutely, absolutely. But in last 5 years, things have changed, and for many reasons, good reasons. With Amazon, with all these online platforms coming up, with increasing competition, with increasing prices for keeping the stores open early and late. Now a lot of retailers wants to go out of their way. A lot of retailers are opening on Thanksgiving Day
Yes,
now,
yeah.
which was never the phenomena. So now a lot of people start the sales few weeks in advance, and the sales will have continue sales till Christmas. A lot of people believe the sales that you will see after Thanksgiving around Christmas are better than the sales you see during Thanksgiving. Because a lot of retailers who cannot sell their stuff, they have to get rid of it before they get into winters, before they get into the next season.
Correct.
Before the year end, they have to liquidate this inventory.
That's why I said that they want to end their year end in the black number, not in the
Absolutely.
red number.
Absolutely.
But besides Black Friday, the other sale day is Cyber Monday.
That's getting more popular now. Cyber Monday sales, a lot of people did not know about Cyber Monday
Correct.
a few years ago. People knew about it, or the tax savvy people knew about it. Now Cyber Monday is getting more popular than Black Friday. Amazon, Walmart, all these big retailers, the online portals, they have special sales for Cyber Mondays that are not there for Black Fridays. So things are changing. So we wish you best of luck. Happy Thanksgiving, and please spend what you can afford.
Absolutely. I just want to add one more thing. About 131 million people are expected to shop Black Friday
Absolutely.
in person and online.
Absolutely.
You know, the people who really don't want to go to the malls and order their food by Uber and DoorDash must be sitting in their homes on the computers and buying the stuff left and right.
We used to prepare a list that we needed to buy,
Correct.
and we'll wait for that list for Black Friday. And then there will be a hunting, go to this shop, and the lists will be prepared beforehand. This shop has this sale and that shop has this sale. Those days are over after COVID.
All right, so maybe in the next week's show, we're going to have actual numbers. How did the Black Friday
Absolutely,
do
definitely.
when it comes to shopping?
That's a great idea.
All right, so now talk about shopping and Thanksgiving. Warren Buffett is in the news. Warren Buffett makes big donation before Thanksgiving, assures shareholders Berkshire is built to last. This gentleman always in the news for good reasons and very meaningful reasons.
Absolutely. With coming from a humble beginning.
Yes.
He understands the value of donation. This is not the first year, it's the 15th consecutive year. Mr. Warren Buffett has donated over $37 billion of his net worth to a lot of charitable companies, a lot of non-for-profit companies. And as you were bringing the story,
Yes.
that he intends to give a lot of money when he passes to the next life.
Yes, this is a very interesting piece of story, AJ, that I really want to share with all of you, and I find it very interesting. And that shows how transparent this gentleman is.
Absolutely.
He was the first billionaire, one of the richest men in the world, went to Bill Gates and back then his wife Melinda Gates and many other billionaires to say, listen, we've got more money than we could ask for. What are we going to do with it? Why don't we start some kind of philanthropy group? Why don't we donate this much money and help out in the countries, in areas where really people need money, whether it's Africa, whether it's poor countries in Asia, when children are not getting education, when they are not getting right medical. And Bill and Melinda, they set up a foundation, and they've been doing a phenomenal job. This, I'm talking 20 years, So now the news has come out because this gentleman is a philanthropist, 9th richest person in the world with the roughly about $129 billion worth. He says that his will is going to be simple and public.
Wow.
Now, you don't hear this from wealthy people because, whenever we say, well, they're wealthy people, they're going to give money to their family members. Warren Buffett says he's going to be donating 99% of his wealth. He said his 3 children are completely in sync with his wish, along with his wife, and they have no problem with it. And he says, my will is going to be open to the public. It can be open in the court. Everything will be listed down that I'm donating this much money for this cause and that cause.
That's wonderful. I wish more people do what Mr. Buffett is doing.
Yep. Warren Buffett is 93-year-old gentleman, and he's still going very strong, right? $120.8 billion, that's his worth, and he added $13.3 billion this year alone.
Wow.
Amazing. There's a lot to learn from this. He is my real idol. But anyway, so moving on to this Warren Buffett's story, let's go into some very, of course, when you have money, you have to pay taxes. When you have to pay taxes, you think about IRS. When you think about IRS, all you need to do, think about Science CPA Services. And AJ, over to you, sir.
Absolutely. So a lot of people, Sanjeev ji, you wouldn't believe, during this time, any party, any social gathering we go, the one question we are asked is, how do I save money on my taxes? How do I lower my taxes? Very common question. And I politely tell everybody, the best thing you can do is know where you are, especially for a small business. If you know how much profit, how much income you have made so far for the first 11 months, the year is almost over. You know where you stand. Now you can plan. If you don't know how much money you have made, there is nothing you can do to plan. If you know you made more money before the end of the year, you can spend some of the money. You can buy some machinery, computer, depending on whatever business you are in. Maybe you can invest some money into the 401k, SEP, IRA, defined benefit, defined contribution, cash balance. You can do something about it if you know where you stand. So for a small business owner, the best thing right now is to know how much profit you have, how much profit, how much tax you were paying earlier, and what you can do now. But it's only possible if you can find out where you are.
Okay, and then to find out where you are, all you need to do is call Science CPA Services, book an appointment right now, over the phone, in person. I say always in person. Get to know them and see what they can do for you and your taxes. Once again, their phone number is 908-380-6876. AJ, I have a question.
Please.
How many $50 bills that you have in your pocket?
That's an interesting story. So last year, the federal government has printed 756 million $50 bills, and this is the highest that they have printed in any one year. In many cultures, $50 bill is considered not auspicious. In US culture, it's considered bad because the president, Mr. Ulysses, whose picture is on the $50 bill, went bankrupt.
Yeah.
So $50 bill is not supposed to be auspicious. So you don't really see $50 bill in the market. You see $20 bill or $100 bills. Not much $20, not much $50 bill. So $50 bill was used. This is the first time, and we had 756 million new $50 bill coming up in the market. Interesting story.
All right, that's good to know about $50. Listen, I'm happy with $50 bills. I don't know why it's considered, inauspicious in some other countries, but $50 bills is fine. That's perfectly okay. All right. Now, let's talk about sports. Of course, ICC World Cup has ended. Unfortunately, India lost out. That was a heartbreaking loss. I still haven't gotten over it. India played superbly well in that World Cup. They won 10 games, but for the 11th game, it was just not their day. Something went wrong. What went wrong, I really don't know. They tried, but it just wasn't their day. But Virat Kohli is named man of the tournament.
Absolutely. So Virat Kohli has bypassed Sachin Tendulkar's record. Now he has 50 ODI centuries. So it's an amazing feat, and because of him, because of him, or mainly because of him, we see such success in this World Cup. It's unfortunate India couldn't win. The low of average caught up to them, I guess. But the first T20 that we saw with Australia was wonderful. Very, very close match. India won the first T20. The last over was scary. We saw 3 consecutive run-outs.
Well, okay, when you go to T20, let's just break it apart. After World Cup ended, Australian team, they are in India. They have stayed in India because there are 5 T20 games scheduled. First game already played, which India won, and Surya Kumar Yadav is the captain because most of the veterans from the World Cup team are being rested. So Surya Kumar Yadav is the captain, and all the young guns are in there.
Absolutely.
And they came out so strong when they batted second. They won the toss and decided to field, but Surya Kumar Yadav and his team came back to win 209 runs.
Absolutely.
In 20 overs, and they beat Australia by 2 wickets in the first game.
That's amazing. That's a wonderful
Second game is on Sunday in Trivendrapuram. Let's see what happens in that T20 game. But I think India is India is now more determined to win T20 World Cup next year.
Absolutely.
All right. With that note, we come to an end of this week's The Business Talk with AJ during this Thanksgiving holiday. As we're getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving holiday, we wish you the same. AJ, thank you so very much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Once again, may your home and heart be filled with happiness, joy, cheer, and good health. Do take care of yourself. I am Sanjeev Pandya, wishing you all good days ahead. So long.
Happy Thanksgiving.